Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to decode the names of the Aikido techniques. I'll be accompanied by my co-host, Chester the dog. You'll probably hear him in the background. This video is especially for one of my sons in Aikido, Yosvani Montelongo in Florida. So listen carefully. My students often ask me, Sensei, how can I memorize the techniques? I don't even know the names of the techniques. Well, in this video, I'm going to explain how you can decode the names. To begin with, today in most schools, the techniques don't technically have names. What we refer to as a name is in reality a descriptive phrase. Be aware, however, that students often put names to the techniques in order to aid their own memorization of the technique, and sometimes the names stick, especially in a particular dojo. One example of a technique in a dojo that I attended was a technique called Cowboy Bob. Don't ask. Maybe I'll tell you someday if you're really good. Anyway, there is a certain syntax or word order with which techniques are given. Below, I'm going to explain this particular syntax. We're going to take as an example a common technique known as Yokomenuchi Shihonage. The first word, Yokomenuchi, or it can be Yokomen Uchi, two words, describes the attack. The second word describes the technique, which is Shihonage. The words that follow simply modify the technique. For instance, irimi and omote, or tenkan and ura. This technique, or this particular video, is not intended to be a glossary, but irimi and omote mean to enter directly, while tenkan and ura mean to go behind the attacker with a rotating motion. There can be additional words that further modify the technique. For instance, tachiwaza, zagi, soriwaza, etc. These words can describe the circumstance or position in which the attack is carried out. For example, zagi yokomen shihonage tenkan could be both participants in seiza, seated, strike to the head, four directions throw with a spin behind the attacker. There can also be additional descriptive words at the end of the technique that further modify the technique, but these usually only serve to help the student remember the technique by suggesting a strong mental image or with the use of a memory peg. So the formula is attack plus the technique plus words that modify. I hope that this explanation clarifies the syntax of Aikido and helps you to understand the descriptions of the techniques. Ciao.